All right, hey guys, I wanted to introduce to you someone who I've been working with for about a few months now. Now, this person has made amazing transformations, and in terms of his anxiety, in terms of his panic attacks, and the amazing thing about this individual is that it's just going to keep getting better and better for him. So I wanted to introduce to you Dareld. Dareld, welcome. I know there's a lot of people who have been struggling with the same thing that you had been struggling with. So they're very eager about seeing, your progress and your recovery and what you really did. So I wanted to get to the first question, which was, where were you before, I guess you and I met? Where were you?
Um, I guess like anxiety wise, I was just in like the worst place I'd ever been. I didn't know what was going on. I've dealt with it for um, a lot of years, I guess. About 20 years. But this is just kind of the worst it had ever been. I was pretty much uh, crippled in my work. I couldn't exercise, which was a pretty important part of my day to day because my like health anxiety and the panic attacks, panic disorder, whatever you want to call it, it was just too much. Like it was bad. And I remember, I was like super desperate. I was there. I was ready to check in somewhere or whatever. That was it. It was, every day was horrifying. I'll put it that way. And that's not an exaggeration. So, it was a bad place, the worst place I've ever been. That's for sure. So, yeah.
Gotcha. And what kind of symptoms were you struggling with in terms of anxiety the most?
Oh, the health anxiety. So it felt like something was always wrong with my heart, even though in my head, like I could think nothing's wrong with my heart. Like I'm certain nothing's wrong with my heart. I've been to the doctor. I've had tests. I've had like 24-hour heart monitor halters. I've had it all and nothing's wrong. And I used to have a very laborious career where I'd run 30, 35, sometimes 40 kilometers a day working, and that's nothing ever happened. And even back then I had the same, very similar symptoms. But it was that and the intrusive thoughts. Like it felt like I was going crazy and I could not get my mind off of the fact that I have this crazy panic disorder that it trumps everything. It's just, that's what you're dealing with right now. It could be thinking about work or my kids or whatever, but it was nope. This is what you're dealing with all the time. And it was all day long, and it was a bloody nightmare. And I mean that I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Not a chance. I would not wish that on anybody. So, but yeah, that's where
Gotcha.
those are symptoms. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. And then so we started working about 4 months ago. How was it like between how was your journey over the last 4 months, working together?
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't cry much, and I'm not some super macho whatever. I just don't. And I remember after our first call, I don't care. And I told you this a little while ago. I fucking bawled my eyes out. It was crazy. I was like, that was waterworks. I just lost my shit. And yeah, it was just such a huge relief. But since then, it's been a roller coaster, man. I guess it's tough to put it in a nutshell, but it's been very good, and it's been very challenging the whole way, and it's just been, yeah. I'm usually pretty good with the words and stuff, but it was something. It completely, my life has now changed. But during the process, it was absolutely essential to have somebody to turn to that actually understood what I was saying. And I know when we talked in the beginning, I told you I don't trust you. Because I don't trust many people, period. And some dude I met on the internet who said he's going to help me with my panic disorder, here's some money. Hopefully this works out. And I'm glad I did. You know what I mean? I'm not just glad I did. I'm fortunate that I did. I was lucky. because I know there's probably people out there that would just say, yeah, send me some dough and I'll cure this or whatever. But I've got the tools on a day to day. Everything you said that happens is happening and happened pretty well exactly as you said it would happen. And that's pretty rare. I mean, part of my day to day is dealing with people saying they can do things, contractors, etc. And I'm always very skittish, and I don't believe it until I see it typically. And it was very much the same case. And I don't have faith in, I have faith in very few people, because it's not, you don't, in my opinion, you don't get to experience people making those decisions that you have your eyes on and that are that important to you time and time again. But you're one of the few. You're not involved in my work or anything along those lines. And it's been fantastic. Like, it's not just been fantastic. It's been transforming. I'm free, man. I'm not 100%. Like I said, I can feel it a little bit right now, but the difference is 4 months ago, I'd be spiraling right now. I'd be going downhill. It'd be a bad day as of this moment. But right now I can feel it, but I know it's just background noise. It's like a fan on in the background or something. It's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And every day it dissipates more. And it's because of the chats and the text messages and the weekly calls and all that shit. That's made the difference. That's made the difference in my life. So yeah, it's been very good. So put it that way.
Yeah. No, I see like a major difference, like even from like the beginning and like the amount of progress you've just been making month by month. And now you still have, you're not fully recovered, but you're on your journey, and now you have your confidence where you're going to get there. So in what ways is your life, how has it gotten better now in terms of, your anxiety and just your quality of life?
Like, so much better. It's ridiculous. Like, it's crazy. I like to work out. It's kind of my fun thing to do. And I get to do that again. Like, I'm working out more than I ever did before, actually. And that feels great. Just that aspect of it it's an important part of my I guess my personality or whatever. And just that aspect, that hobby of mine that's so important to me, and it's important to my health and everything. I get to do that again. But I'm doing way more stuff with my kids. I'm happier. I'm not always constantly basically worrying about this feeling of instant death coming my way, which probably helps in most of my relationships. But I've started to talk to some friends that I hadn't talked to in, I don't know, 4 or 5 months type of deal. I'm just doing more stuff. I feel better. I've got more energy. And I'm finally able to think about the future positively. Before, I wasn't able to do that. I just have this crazy dark cloud would set in, and that'd be it. I'd feel my panic and anxiety, and that would be like, it was that bad. It would just sink in like that, and that doesn't happen anymore. Like it sometimes it does, but it's fleeting. Like, it'll just in and out just like that. Like, that's it. It's just there, and then it's not there just as fast as it was, and it's no big deal. But the quality of life, you can't compare it. Like, it's not apples and oranges. It's just not even in the same dimension. You know what I mean? Like, and I know I'm not 110% exactly where I want to be yet, but I'm confident I will be. I can see that I'm in the light, and I can see the light at the end of the tunnel type of deal. And I know it's there. I can feel that. I can accurately measure, this is where I was and this is where I am now. And it's not even close to the same thing. My life it's extraordinarily better. Everything about it. I'm happier. Dude, look at me. I'm happy now. You know what I mean? I'm going to be happy when we're off this call. Just things are better, man. That's it. And I don't play that phony shit either. You know that by now. And things are better, man. It worked, and it's working. So, but yeah.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
man. Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. And by the way you're going about things, I always say like freedom is kind of like the freedom we always talk about. It's just a consequence of everything you're doing. So it's just inevitable that it's gonna come in, and that you're gonna be at that 110%. What would you tell somebody who is kind of in your situation, who's been struggling with this, who feels like everything they've done hasn't helped, and that they kind of feel like it's a life sentence? Because I know you
Hmm.
and I both kind of experienced that. We both felt at some point that it was, this was us forever. What would you tell somebody who's going through that?
I'd tell them, I know exactly how you feel. I'm just a stranger, whatever. I'm just some dude with a slightly receding hairline that is saying all this wonderful stuff, but it's not bullshit. I mean, I don't even I almost get choked up when I think about it, how shitty things were um, just a few months ago. And I do know how you feel. I know how it feels like a life sentence. You can't see, it's blackness. You're stuck in a tar pit. There's no way out. It's coughing, choking, just, it's bad. Every day is horrifying, and that's what it is. And every day is a living nightmare, and it's incredible. But I can tell you, there is a way out that works. That's not just coping. I coped for years. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad, but um, getting right out of it is possible. And it's not just possible; it's doable. And all I'd say is get with Shaan and have faith in what he's telling you, and just do what he says, even if it doesn't feel right. And that was one of my biggest issues was, am I doing this right? I don't know. I don't feel this gone already. And I think it's because the panic was like all day long for me. Like all day it was nuts. But it was very much it was very much um, I don't know if I'm doing this right. Um, is this working? Is this just another thing to try and it's not going to work for me because I'm a unique case and this and that and whatever? And it's all bullshit. Just do it. Do what he says. I guarantee it'll work. I'm I'm obsessive compulsive a little bit. I think all that kind of stuff. It's hard for me to break habits. And I had all these questions, and like I mentioned earlier on the call, um, you know, I didn't trust the guy because there was no real solid reason to have sincere trust, and now I do. Absolutely. If he told me, you know, go friggin' dump a jar of peanut butter on your head and it'll make you feel better, I'd do it. And I'd feel better. I know that's where I'm at right now. But all that said, just do it. There's a way out. You've never, whoever you are, you're still dealing with it. I know exactly how you feel, believe it or not. And I felt for the longest time that nobody else understood, and people do. And there are people like Shaan that know how to get out of it, and they can help you every step of the way. Like days when you just feel like shit, days when you feel like I'm not doing this properly, um, this isn't working for me. You can just get on the phone with the guy. You can just text him if you don't feel like talking on the phone. I didn't like talking on the phone too much because it drains my energy kind of. This is me. So I text, and we all like that bubble that comes with the text, and it helped, and it worked, and it worked. It worked. I got two boys. I'm able to be a better father to them. I got a lot of people that rely on me in my work. I'm able to serve them better, I suppose. I've got more money in my bank account. I'm more active. I just feel better. Things are better. The quality of my life is better. I don't feel like I'm dying anymore. I don't feel like I'm dying every second of the day, and I don't feel like I'm some withering friggin' sunset. And I just feel good. I don't feel perfect every day. Like I said, last few days were actually very stressful for me, and I got through it like it was no big deal. No big deal. 4 or 5 months ago, man, that would have crippled me. I would have been done. I just would have gave up, and that whole thing, this important project that I'm working on, would have been out the window. That would have been it. Wouldn't have been any positive benefit for myself, or my family, or my colleagues, or anything along those lines. But he's just the guy. Listen to him. Just do what he says. He's not a bullshit artist. It works, period. It works. That's it. I mean, send me a message. I'll tell you whatever you want. If you want to know more about this guy, he's going to help you, period. He helped me, and I'm a sad ass case, to tell you the truth. I'm a wreck. But I guess you could say not so much anymore. So all I can say is get with this guy, give it a shot. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And it worked for me. I spent 20 years dealing with this anxiety shit in all the different parts of someone's life that come about in that 20 years. And hey, I'm on my way out. I'm the best I've ever felt. And I feel this thing that Shaan talked about, which was confidence. And I've always been kind of a confident guy, I guess, but not in this respect. And I'm starting to feel that confidence. And I'll put it to you this way. When you get those symptoms, whatever they are for you, derealization, or you feel like, oh, I'm going to have a jammer, I'm having a stroke, or, oh, my arm's numb, or whatever your thing is. I know I had all that stuff like all the time. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. You're listening to Shaan. As soon as those things show up, it almost makes you happy. It does, because you're like, oh, here's an opportunity to demonstrate to myself that it's not real. And it's not. It's super not. And I've always kind of known that. I just kind of known, but I've never been able to make that work for me. And now it's working for me. And I just feel great, feel awesome. And I'm not even 100% yet. I know it. I can feel the anxiety right now. I can feel that little symptom it's kind of in my chest at the top of my stomach. And 4 or 5 months ago, that would have been, you need to sit down, you need to lay down, you need to stop what you're doing, and you need to pay attention to your heart and listen, like feel your heart rate and all this other stuff. And right now it's happening. And I'm talking to you like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm 100% right now. I'm fine, even though it's still there. And every day it just disappears more and more. That those, what do you call them? The peaks and valleys. The peaks are when you feel really good, and the valleys are when you feel not so good or really bad. And I had some pretty high peaks, and then I had some really low valleys, but those valleys are becoming less and less, and they're way less intense. I'm at like the bottom of a valley right now, and I'm good. And I know in a couple days, I'm going to feel like $1 million. I know I will. And that's that. And even my lowest valley right now, I feel better than my highest peak 5 months ago. So all I can say is do it. Do it. Just do it. Just make it happen. Do it. And if you got ripped off, I'll pay you whatever you freaking paid on. Like it works. I can't see anybody not being extraordinarily grateful for something like this. And that's it. So.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Like I say, I think your future is going to be so bright. It's awesome. Like even these feelings, these symptoms, even those residual feelings, they're going to be gone by the end. Yeah, like I say, man, I'm super proud of your transformation. I'm very fortunate to be able to work with you. Yeah, I think you're one of the coolest guys I've ever met, man. And I like I say, I'm so excited about your progress, and the progress that's going to be coming as well, and just what you're going to be able to achieve, man. Because I always said that one thing I admired about you, and for people on the call, is that Dareld was somebody who had panic, but also was able to work and support his family, which is very hard to do. I mean, just having anxiety or panic itself is very difficult. And the fact that he was able to do it for so long, I'm always impressed by that, because when I was struggling, there's no way I could have had it, working at the same time. And like I say, man, life is going to be, it's going to be a sandbox. It's just going to be you're just going to enjoy it, because now you don't have this problem anymore. You could just focus all your energy on things that matter to you. So like I say, it's going to be awesome. Really, really happy for you, man.
Much obliged. Thanks.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I'll just say, like, can I curse? Probably shouldn't curse too much, eh?
Yeah,
okay. But, and I know I said this to you in a text the other day, but I can look at it any way I want. But this guy, listening to what he said, saved my fucking life, period. There's no other way to go about it. That's the bottom line. That's all there is. So that's really all I need to know. And I'm not saying that's all you need to know, but I'm telling you, if you get with this guy and you just do it, and the reason I say have faith is because I know you don't think it's going to work, because I went through the exact same shit. I know you don't think it's going to work, but it will. You just got to do it. Even when it feels like it's not working, it's actually working. Like it's actually working. But yeah, saved my life straight up. That's the only way to put it. That's it. So, yeah.
Yeah, man. And you and I are still gonna be in touch for the rest of the. I'm like I say, I'm always gonna be there till the end, man. So you and I will still stay in touch. And yeah, man, you're crushing it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the interview.
You bet. Thanks, Shaan.
All right, man. I'll see you.